So, welcome guys to the Modern Trust podcast. I'm here with Dan Hales, expert estate planning attorney. And we have a special guest, Ron, if I'm mispronouncing the last name, Scolesdang.
Yeah, right on the money.
Dan, there's been a lot of things going around election time, and things have been getting kind of crazy. Can you talk about anything that you've heard with kind of the elections kind of happening or post-fallout?
Well, the only thing I can say is that, a lot of people are happy, a lot of people are unhappy. But the good news is there's going to be another election in 48 months. It's not the end of the world. This is the democratic process. And every few years we have a chance to make our preferences known and start again, essentially. So this is how democracy works. It's not... sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but in the balance, the process moves on, the country moves on, and I think our job is to make the best out of each electorate after each election. So it's a new day in America, and time to move forward, and there will be another election before you know it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of elections, Ron, you ran for the city mayor position for the City of Irvine.
Yep.
Kind of talk about this process and being new to it, and why. Why did you do it? How did you come up with it? Can you kind of share about your experience while all this is going on with Kamala and Trump, but here on the battlegrounds in the city? How did that all go down?
Yeah, it's been a fun and crazy ride. We had a very short campaign. Literally, the whole mayoral campaign was 8 months, and we went from political unknown to now we have name ID. And people are pushing, hey, you should run for city council. Maybe you shouldn't have gone for mayor because I was very, very bold. But they didn't realize that we almost won this thing. Out of 7 candidates, it's not over yet. They're still counting the votes. Still 20,000 votes left to count. But it looks like we're probably going to finish in third. And we were splitting the votes with both parties. But one candidate in particular really showed his experience. And he gave us a nice, good body shot at the very, very end. And dropped us down at third, pretty much for the count. So I applaud him for that for sure. But yeah, it's been amazing. My background is business and community service. Been doing that for about 21 years now, and going into office for me is no different than community service. In fact, it's the same thing. Whereas I'm trying to help people outside of government, now I'm trying to help people by using government as a vessel to make the lives of other people better. And so it doesn't really seem that different to me. Even the framework is the same for everything that I do in my life: business, personal, relationships, community service. I have the proper coaches, I have the proper players, I have the proper playbook. And as long as we all execute, we should have desired result. And we did just that with this election. We got very, very close. We were considered in the top 3 to run, which as a political unknown, you should have zero chance of anything. So it was cool that we were able to make it so high and split the votes with the top candidates. But variables that we weren't aware of came into play, and our lack of experience kind of came out, and we ended up in third so far. But that's okay.
Ron, would you consider running for mayor again, or are you perhaps considering adjusting your focus and maybe going for city council?
Yeah, I think a lot of people try to do this once and they realize how difficult and hard it is. Just like a lot of people that try to start a business, like I would like to start my own ballet studio, and then they do it and they're like, oh, this ain't for me. I don't think I'm going to do this again. Even after everybody's going to have a failed business at some point. You open enough, you're going to have some failures. And a lot of people that have their first failure, they give up and move on. But I've been raised better than that. And I know that if you just keep working, keep trying, keep progressing, keep improving, you will get desired result. And so this is merely just one round in the many rounds I have of this political game that I've entered. I'm obsessive with everything that I do, and I'm obsessed with making a difference to our residents. So not being in seat for the mayor position is literally just one round of many. So I will either go for a city council, commissioner seat, on a board, on a committee, as an alternate in any position where I can provide value.
And Ron, why mayor position? So I know that you own multiple businesses. We were talking about there's also the kickboxing gym here in Irvine as one of your businesses, but you have business going on, and a lot of people say it's kind of like Trump and or any somebody else. He's got businesses going on. So why take on this this mayor position? What does that mean to you?
Well, I took on the mayor position because I live in District 5 and there wasn't a city council position available. So it wasn't like, I must be mayor, I want the mayor. I can care less about the title. For me, I don't mean to talk down it, but it's an over-glorified customer service position. You're there as a representation for the residents, as a voice for them, and you're there to service their needs. You got to make sure that the residents, the clients of your city are happy. If they're unhappy, they should go to you and you should fix that. And that's customer service 101. And so as a mayor, you are the lead customer service agent. You should make sure that everybody is happy with their service, and so when it was available, we went for it. I've been doing unlikely things most of my whole life. I told people that I wanted to be a world champion fighting, and they thought they would never happen. Then I became one. They thought I would never open all these businesses and make them successful in industries that I have no experience in, and then I made them successful. I wouldn't be able to buy a home in Irvine at this day and age, and I bought one. With everything that's going on, do you even have time to cultivate and maintain a family with a wife and have a kid? No? Well, we got one. We made one. We're making it happen. And so being a mayor, even if it sounds ridiculous for most, it didn't really seem that ridiculous to me because we live in a world where if you really want something to happen, you can make it happen, no matter how unlikely it may be.
So you've had a lot of successes in your life. Congratulations. Tell us about your martial arts involvement and competitions.
Yeah, so I saw it on TV when I was 17. At the time, it was Spike TV, and I saw the first season of The Ultimate Fighter, and it inspired me. I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. I was playing football at the time in high school, Marina High School in Huntington Beach, and I got inspired. I was like, oh my gosh. And at the time, Yahoo was popular, so I Yahoo'd MMA gym near me, and I found the nearest one, and it was in like Stanton, California. And so I drove over there, signed up, trained there for about like 7 years. I never stopped ever since. I've been training ever since, and now 22 years later, I'm still training, and I still hold a current title. So currently for Muay Thai, I'm a WCK World Champion and then a WBC National Champion. So I'm fighting kids that are taller than me, stronger than me, younger than me, more experienced than me. And because we have the proper coaches, the proper team, the proper playbook, and we execute, we're still winning. We're still beating them. So it's been fun. I try to keep life simple. All we got to do is put in the work, and it shows. I mean, even for the mayor election, we didn't get the result we wanted, but we accomplished so much, and now it puts us in position to essentially win whatever else we're trying to jump into. So, yeah.
How has that martial arts background helped you with your businesses, this mayor position? Can you maybe talk about how that has maybe helped you or given you discipline or whatever?
It's everything. It's shaped every capacity of my life. And I'm a huge proponent of it. I'm not here to promote my martial art. I'm going to promote any martial art. Doesn't matter. Krav Maga, karate, taekwondo, kung fu, boxing, wrestling. I believe it gives you so much structure, so much respect, so much discipline, and it gives you a sense of culture too. When you jump into a martial art, it gives you so many things, and it teaches you how to run a business. Even as a student, you go in there, you never thought you would do it, but nobody goes in there like, I'm going to sign up for this gym because I can't wait to mop the mats afterwards. And you find yourself not having to, but wanting to help out, wanting to wipe down the equipment, wanting to stay after and give back to your community and help those that don't have the experience that you have to get to where you are. It's a beautiful cycle, a beautiful community and culture that you put yourself into. And that goes beyond martial arts. I've done it in business where I do the same thing. Even this day and age right now, in staffing is very, very difficult. Nobody wants to work anymore. Everybody wants to get paid more and they want to do less.
That's right.
And there's a higher pedestal for quality of life. Oh, this is amazing. Even the 6 figures, 7 figures, that's great. But you know what? I go on vacation 3 months out of the year and it's not going to work with my schedule. So I'm sorry, I'm going to have to decline this offer. And we're at that point now where people are picking quality of life over money, which I think is amazing. But even on the lower ends of the pay scale, minimum wage, $20, $30, $40 an hour, nobody wants to take it. And if they do want to take it, they don't want to do what you used to have to do to make those type of hourly rates. And so what I've found is from martial arts, I've built a community. And so all the businesses that I have, our retention rate is great because we make sure that they feel like they matter. They do matter. We make them feel like they're part of a family, and some of them actually don't have families, so we are their family. And they feel like we are the same. Doesn't matter if you are the owner, the janitor, the lawyer, the mechanic. Everybody has the same type of respect. And when you give that to somebody and they feel respected and they feel like they matter and they feel like you love them, they stick around forever. You know, I've had lots of employees that were like, hey, I got better job offers. Can you give me a raise? And I was like, well, sell it to me, because I want to give them life skills too. Sell it to me. I want to give you just to give it to you. And I was like, if I can't afford it, it's like, look, I'm not going to hold you back from a better life. If you want to take it, take it, you know. And I wish you all the best and congratulations. But most of the time, two things happen. Either they're like, yeah, you know, it's not worth it because I've worked for other companies and they don't care like you guys care. You know, I'll forego the extra $1-2 an hour. You know, or they'll take it and months later they come back, it's like, yeah, it wasn't worth it. Or they didn't give what they promised. You know, and so martial arts, it does so much more than teach you how to beat people up. It structures everything. And it even flows over to my family life, you know, making sure I have the discipline to make sure that I have the energy to be a good husband and a dad as soon as I walk through that door. All of us work. We're tired by the time we get home, but we could easily just like, all right, bye everybody, phase out, play on your phone, watch TV, or go to sleep. But you got to be, you're not worker anymore. Now you're dad or father or son or brother or whatever it is you need to be. We are constantly working. And martial arts has given me that work ethic where I never have time off. Kind of sad, right? But it's for the greater good because I can enrich the lives of others because of that. You know, and so do martial arts. I don't care what age. It is a life changer. It has given me everything in my life. So please, if you haven't, do it.
Ron, tell us about the name of your business and where you're located.
Yeah, so just opened up my dream business. Opened up a bunch of businesses. They were cool. We built community. It was very gratifying, and I always find a way to make the world a better place through that. You know, I have a towing company, and you would think, okay, cool, you did that for money. He's like, yeah, but we found a way to make it fulfilling. We were able to help people that are suffering on the side of the road. Nobody plans to have a roadside problem, and they're struggling. 1 minute feels like 1 hour. So if we can reduce the time that they have to wait, we can have hair ties and tampons and crackers and bottled water for them when you get up there. It just turns their day around. These little tiny things that make people's lives better. But while that was all very, very fun and fulfilling, I was still missing something because martial arts has been my whole life. And so I didn't punch a thing. I didn't teach anybody how to defend themselves or build their confidence or anything like that. So I got nudged by a friend, Andy. He's a very inspirational. I have a great team of mentors around me, and he's an award-winning, world-renowned tattoo artist. He has a shop in Huntington Beach, My Tattoo. Amazing dude. And he was like, hey, you're going to keep chasing money? You're going to finally go do your dream. And I was like, shizzle. I'm like, all right. So we opened it up. So 5 months ago, we opened up Oka Kickboxing Club. Longest answer ever, right? And it's right down the street from here. And it is everything I've ever wanted in a gym. And it's not a gym, it's a club. We call it a kickboxing club because it's for anybody and everybody that wants to utilize kickboxing for whatever goal that they want. Confidence, community, self-defense, fitness, maybe they want to fight, anything, or maybe they just want to just be around people, have something to do. And it encompasses all that. And so our demographic is diverse. I've got business women, I've got fashionistas, I've got janitors in there.
Influencers.
A bunch of influencers. Other fighters are coming there, even though it's not a fight gym. But it's just a environment that is welcoming to all. We've got senior citizens in there, keeping up with our 20-year-olds. It's really cool to see, and it's tiny. It's 2,700 square feet, which is really small for a gym. It's intimate. We've only got 10 heavy bags. We don't have more than 20 people per class, and we just keep them small, intimate, and we make sure we connect with every single student that comes in. It's a beautiful thing. We love it. I've been there. I was there since 5:30 a.m. Left, ate a burrito real quick with some of the students, came here, and right after here, I'm going right back over there to teach some more.
Awesome.
So the dream.
So Ron, with Modern Trust and Dan's been in the business 30 years, worked with celebrity clients in estate planning and doing living trusts and wills, and we talk a lot about legacy, and you have kids, and what does legacy mean to you for the things you're doing with the mayoral, running for that, with your businesses, your martial arts? Can you talk a little bit about legacy?
Yeah, so for me, legacy is two parts. One is the selfless part, and that part is I want to make the world a better place to whatever capacity I can. Whether it's I help a person cross the street, put a put my jacket over a puddle, or I change policy in a city for 320,000 residents to make it so that they feel safer, or their life is better enriched, or business owners have a better chance of success. We can talk about that another day. That's the selfless part. I found my purpose years ago, and that was make the world a better place through martial arts. And then through martial arts, I learned how to get good at business, and I use that business to do community service, open up a bunch of nonprofits and stuff like that. Now on the selfish side, because everybody has some sort of selfishness, of course, it's just nature. And the selfishness is I want to show my son that anything is possible. And my wife and I have lived such a crazy life that my son isn't even phased that I'm running for mayor. It's just like another thing. It's not even phased I'm world champion. It's not even phased that we have like 7 businesses. It's not even phased that like we move into a bigger house every single year. Like this is nothing to him. So we set the bar so high for him that when he accomplishes, it's not going to be a big accomplishment. It's going to be like, yeah, it's normal. I want his big accomplishments to be normal. That's the selfish part. That's what I want. I want him to do so well and have the bar so high that his great things that he does is nothing to him. He's like, okay, cool, this is another day. And so it's really amazing to see. He's like, oh yeah, my dad's running for mayor, and he tells his kid. He's so smart. I don't tell him to say anything, and he's like, oh yeah, my dad, he's running for mayor. He has a fish shop. He has cryotherapy salon. He has a kickboxing gym. He's in e-commerce. I'm like, how do you? I don't talk to you about this, but he eavesdrops, and he just absorbs information like crazy. So it's really cool that the bar has been set for him, and like he wants to start his own business. He wants to do a lemonade stand, and he wants to take all the money from his lemonade stand and buy e-bikes for kids that don't have any.
Wow.
It's the freaking cool, and we're gonna do one. I just had to wait for the election to be over, but we're gonna do a lemonade stand, and the money is gonna go. He doesn't understand the value of the dollar yet, at least to that capacity, because e-bikes are expensive. But we're probably gonna make enough to have one e-bike, and we're gonna find one of his friends that doesn't have one, or run a contest or something, and then give somebody an e-bike for Christmas. So it'll be fun.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how does everybody find out more about you, your business, on social media or website, anything we can kind of share with our viewers?
Yeah, you can type the word Scolesdang anywhere on the internet, and all my social will pop up. The websites will pop up. My businesses will pop up. YouTube channels, all that fun. This podcast will pop up. We'll make sure of it.
Nice.
So
why don't you spell that?
Yes, Scolesdang. It's a weird one. It's Scolesdang. But I want to do a shameless plug here, because we are on the Modern Trust podcast. Legacy is important to build and have, but it's also important to protect. And I know you guys do online trusts here, and I also can't express the importance of having a trust. It's one thing to grind and grow, but it's another thing to protect. In the event that you're being attacked and you have a potential for loss, you need to make sure that you're protected to reduce the chance of that loss. And I think a lot of people don't understand the power of a trust. A lot of people think, okay, well, if I die, I just need a will and I'm good. And that's not the case whatsoever. Everybody needs to have a trust. I don't care how big or small of a business or a property or asset that you have. Everybody needs to have at least one trust. Obviously, you can keep going down further and further and have multiple trusts and all that stuff. But I would say at least one is a good start to protect whatever legacy that you're trying to build. Shameless plug. From my friends.
We're not going to turn that down.
Well, thanks for having you.
Yeah, no worries. This has been fun. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Ron. Very inspiring.
Appreciate it.
Good luck.